Hey everyone, today we're going to do an unboxing of something because, well, I already broke the seal on the tape. Anyway, this is the Amazon special. This is not what I had originally intended to buy, but I needed a desoldering tool. I've been using a Soldapult. That's the old, kerchink pump method of using a soldering iron and the pump to remove solder. So I figured I'd give this thing a whirl. This is a desoldering station and a soldering station. I really wanted it for the desoldering station. The one I had originally gone to purchase was temporarily out of stock, and I was impatient. It had a gift card, so I figured I'd go for it. Anyway, I don't know how to pronounce this appropriately, but it is the Yihua 948. And this is the 2-in-1 desoldering and soldering station. This is the box that came in from Amazon. I like to call this the Amazon special. Again, it's the 948. And we'll see how it works. For reference, I typically use my $25 Weller soldering iron for most of my things with the fine point tip on it. I like it because when it's on, it has LED lights. And I know it's on. This is great for throwing in my tool bag because I can work on pinball machines very easily because it provides me some light in the direction that I'm working on, even though I usually stick a flashlight in there. Anyway, so let's pretend to undo the tape. Tape's undone. Let's go ahead and open it. I really haven't gotten any further than this, but figured let's go ahead and see what's in here. Anyway, we've got our Yihua. Somebody help me out here. This says open me. It's got important documents inside, so let's go ahead. And this is pretty standard with Amazon purchases these days. They want to know your opinion on it, and I found that a lot of these times these people, they do respond, so it is nice to have. Anyway, we'll take that and put that off to the side. We have an operation manual in English. It says thank you for purchasing this product. And we've got a lot of small print. Read this at your own time, but we will save these instructions because it tells me to do so. Next up, we have more operating instructions in English. This is for the desoldering station, and it gives us some specifications. They've actually gone ahead and amended the desoldering gun temperature ranges. There's a sticker here on this version of the manual. It looks like it goes from 380 degrees Celsius to 480 degrees Celsius, or 716 Fahrenheit to 896 degrees Fahrenheit. It also gives us the soldering iron ranges as well, which is 392 degrees to 896 degrees. Has an LED display. It's got some buttons on it. It tells us how to operate it. Anyway, I'm just kind of flipping through this. You will read this on your own. You really just want to see what the product looks like and feels like. It does have a sleep mode, and we can configure the buzzer, which I have read in the reviews is annoying. But I guess we can turn it off, perhaps? I don't know. We'll read that later. They go ahead and talk about how to use the desoldering station with the heating element and everything. And again, like I said, I have not opened this yet, so we get to do this together. All right, let's start with removing the foam. Oh, okay. There's more here. It's actually packaged pretty well, I would think. Here, at least this is a fair amount of foam up there. I'll throw that off to the side here. And it landed underneath the tripod. Perfect. All right. We have a bag of supplies. It looks like we have some filters, a cleaning tool for the nozzles, some spring filters here, it looks like. Oh yeah, plenty of extra, tools to clean things here. Okay. Oh yeah, some filter pads here for the desoldering pump. That's what that looks like it's for. I should put that somewhere so I don't lose it. Like on the floor with the foam that fell. All right, next we have a plug. We will plug that in somewhere over here. We'll make room for that. Let's see what else is loose in here. I want to get out. I think this is for, I don't know what this is for. It's rubbery, it's plastic, it's kind of stretchy. Is this for my cord? It's for a cord. It's pretty tight, I guess. Okay, we will again. Maybe we'll read the instructions at some point. We'll put that down with the rest of the stuff. Let's see here. Anything else loose? All right. So here we go. We've grabbed. This is the soldering iron. So here's the soldering iron. It has the connection port here. It's gray. It's nothing fancy. It has the model number on here. It's got a cover on the tip. It's already tinned, it looks like. It's good. We will put that off to the side. We will not throw that one on the ground. All right, next up we have the desoldering gun, the desoldering station here. It's got a pump. It's got, I'm seeing some residue on it, some shininess. I'm sure you guys can see that. I didn't touch this yet, believe it or not. So this is just probably how it is. There's the spring filter and the tip, which I do believe we need to, before we use it for the first time, we actually need to heat it up and then suck in the tin or the solder that they've put on the tip to keep it from oxidizing. So that does need to be done, but it has a nice weight to it. It's not overly heavy. I was concerned that this is going to have a cheap feel, but it does not have a very cheap feel. It definitely doesn't feel as solid or rigid as some other things, but it actually does have a pretty good feel to it. I don't like that I'm going to see fingerprints all over this, but it is what it is. For reference, I have used other desoldering tool stations like a Hako or Hako, depending on where you're from. So I have used those. Those are a little bit bigger, but this is got a nice, it feels good. It does not feel like you're using a cheap toy. It does have a nice weight to it. All right, so that we'll put over here. Let's see, we also have some extra tips of varying sizes, which is important. So you want to use a different size tip depending on what you're desoldering. So that is important to have. So there are extra tips here. And we have, oh, this will be nice. Well, let's see what we can get out. Here we go. Here is a station in the bag. And here is the back of it. So one plug with the model number on it. It's a soldering station. There we go, the model 948. Let's go ahead and take it out of the bag. Okay, our notice sticker is starting to peel. No big deal. Push it back down. This has, so it's got a decent sized footprint here. If you're I've used other things like a Hako or a Hako desoldering station, that's all self-contained. So this is probably an older style, I would say, which puts this, you know, the price point on this at the time of purchase was about $145, I believe. And then I had a gift card and there was a $10 coupon. So the $10 coupon put it about $135. So that was good. So we've got our desoldering and our soldering. I can see that our soldering station has one less pin than the desoldering, and looks like I can only go on in one direction, either on for the soldering or on for the desoldering, but we'll have to see. Turn that. Oh, that comes off. Ah, that's where our filter is. So, okay, so that's where the vacuum is. So we can replace that. We have more of those. That's good. I should probably pick that up. Yeah, see that? I'm sorry, I've been holding it too far away, too close there. I pulled that off. That's the foam for the desoldering pump, the vacuum pump. Let's just go ahead and put that nozzle back on. Whoopsie. There we go. Perfect. All right, so there we go. There's that. This does weigh, it's got some weight to it. I don't know, 5, 6, 7 pounds. So it's got some weight to it. Looks like you can get into it if you need to. There we go. It's the, it's the 948. I'm not gonna try to pronounce it. Somebody please tell me how it's pronounced. And there is a fuse holder in the back, 250-volt fuse. All right. And then, so we make some room here. Oh nice, I do have a place to put my soldering iron. We'll open this up. So we can see it does have the sponge in here. So what you will do is you will dampen that so that you can clean off the tip of your soldering iron. I also have this brass mesh which I use to also clean, and that does a decent job. I've used wet sponges before. In fact, if you see back here, and if you've seen some of my old videos, I was using an old sponge. I would just dampen it for when I needed to. And that does fine as well. That's all it is. It's just to clean off the tip of your soldering iron when you've got too much solder on there. Anyway, let's take this out. I'm stuck in tape. All right, here we go. All right. So it goes in here somehow. That probably goes like that. Let's see. Let's get the soldering iron. Is this for the soldering iron? Or the desoldering pump? Or both? Can I fit both in here? I can. I can fit both. So I've got the soldering iron here and the desoldering in the back. I don't know if that's the way it's supposed to go, but that's how it's going to go. That's good. Oh, I just noticed this. We have a collar on here so we can actually tighten and secure that soldering iron. And we have one here for the desoldering station too. Plus our vacuum tube that gets connected separately. But, all right. Maybe we'll try to set it up. That looks like it might work, right? Sure, why not? So I've made a little home for the soldering station here. You can kind of got a keyboard here for scale. This is my workbench with my Windows XP computer, so I can run my Top Max Universal Programmer over there, and I've got my Sony PVM that I use for testing things. I like to pretend like I know what I'm doing, but in reality I can stick two things together with solder and metal and stuff. That's about it. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and set everything up here. So I'm just trying to find a place for things. I think while I'm setting this up, I mean, when I'm not using it, it's probably gonna sit up here out of the way with the cords and everything. And I really do need to clean up my mess that's over here on the left side of the screen. But let's go ahead and take off these really heavy duty twist ties. I should save these. These are like the heaviest duty twist ties I've ever seen. All right, so there's one. All right, we will plug this. We'll plug this in to our soldering station. So we'll plug it in over here. Make sure I line that up. I see. All right, there's a groove here at the top. and an arrow, so I know that that is up. All right, that is up. I can screw this collar on to secure it. Kind of a nice touch there. And that is on. We'll stick that in here for now. And now I'll undo this second heavy duty twist tie. I mean, they did not skimp on the quality of their twist ties here. All right, so I've got everything there. We'll go ahead and do the same thing. Now we do need to plug in our vacuum line as well. So this is probably something I'm going to want to keep an eye on. I want to have another look. There's another clip here, so that it all will stay together. So I will attach that momentarily, but I'm going to move it up. Now we'll push this in to the top. All right, that is screwed in. And now we gotta plug in our vacuum line. So here's the vacuum line, and that just goes right here. Shove that in there all the way. Great, and then I'm gonna clip these together like that, and make sure everything's got nice, it's all kind of tidied up. So we've tidied it up, or we are tidying it up, because there's two lines here. So that's probably one of the nicer things with a Hakko, is it doesn't have two lines coming out here, which is what this one has. Oh, I probably went the wrong way. I should not have moved it up. I should have moved it back. We'll do that. We'll move it the other way. Put the slack over on this end here, on the pump side. So this contraption runs the heating element part and the vacuum part, I guess. Let's see. You could probably spend forever doing this. It's one of the downfalls, I think, of two lines. But again, this was $135 with the coupon on Amazon, and not like $300. So I think I can manage for $150 or so difference. Anyway, some nice slack here, plenty of room to work in this area, and we'll go ahead and put that in that station. So I guess when I'm not using it, I'll store it up here, kind of out of the way, like that, I guess. We got to come up with something. I got cords everywhere. Plus, I got to clean up this other mess. I probably can move that stuff now. We'll see. So now we're pretty much eye level with my workstation. So I haven't turned it on yet. We get to do this together. Oh, let's turn on the soldering iron first. So I'm going to push it to the left and see what happens. Oh, it beeps. And it is heating up. Looks like it's heating up pretty quickly. I'm gonna move this out the way here. All right, so probably should take that off. Oh, that would have gotten hot quick. And it looks like it's going to whatever temperature we saw. So it's at, is it really at 572? I don't know what the melting point of my solder is, but let's just see if I. Oh yeah, it's melting the solder. That heated up pretty quick. I'm happy with that. That was fast. Okay. Not bad. Now I don't have anything to actually solder in front of me to see how it holds up, but that heated up pretty quickly. So I guess I can, if I push the plus button, that raises the temp, down, raises it, lowers it. What does the star button do? Oh, that changes it to Celsius, so that's Celsius. It's got nice little clicks. Sure. Now that heats up pretty quick. Alright, well that was fast. Okay, we're gonna put that away. In there. And then just for ha-has, does this do anything? No, nothing right now. So I'm going to back up a little bit. I'm going to flip it over to the other side. So it says it's going to 716. It's at going to 215. It's going to heat up. So we're watching it heat up. Oh, I can see some smoke. It's heating up. It's the classic, I have not been heated up before. I hope there's nothing in here that's going to catch on fire. I probably should have read the manual. There's some heat coming out of it for sure. It's heating up. And the notice sticker at the top says, when using the tin suction soldering station, do not operate the suction gun before its temperature display reaches its set temperature. And reaches the set temperature and is preheated for around 2 minutes. Failure to do so may result in clogging. Result in is one word. That's why I click it, it definitely drops in temp. This must be a release for the back. Probably should have played with that stuff before I first turned it on, right? There you go, we can see it. Star changes it to Celsius so we can see it moving. Oh, do I have anything I can desolder for fun? Let me put this away. Blinking. That must mean a thing. PHT. What does that mean? I should read the manual, I suppose. Let's see. PHT in the operating instructions while it's heating up. Not that one. I mean, seriously, who reads the manual here? All right. Yep, we connected the desoldering gun to the desoldering station. We turned it on. When using the desoldering nozzle for the first time, coat the nozzle with a layer of solder. We recommend blah, 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 blah. Okay, this is to prevent... all right. Okay. To desolder, cover, melt. All right. Yeah, I'm just reading in my head. Let me read what we'll like pretend to read, and then I'll come back. All right. I'll let it heat up. I haven't done anything other than pretend to read the manual. We'll go ahead and push this trigger now and see what happens. Oh, I can hear it. Yeah, and you know what? It actually cleaned out. There's a little hole here now, so it was covered. Yeah, that's great. Okay, I'm just curious if I put some solder on it, what happens. Oh yeah, it melts. Sure. Oh, that's fun. All right, cool. All right, I should probably find something to desolder. It's on. That's not bad. Okay, now we just need some real world time with it. I mean, it's working, it's doing its job. What's next? We gotta find something to desolder on. So we're looking at the back of an arcade printed circuit board here. Specifically, it's a Galaxian, and here is the 40-pin CPU socket. And I thought, you know what? Let's just try a couple spots to see how it does, and then we'll swap over to the soldering iron and put the solder back on. It doesn't work, this board. I mean, I hope it works eventually, but it's not working currently. So let's go ahead and try and see what happens. We'll check to see if it makes some noise when it sucks. Here we are. Now, I do know that the proper, or sometimes what the proper thing to do is to add solder while you're doing this. You can either do it with a soldering iron first to reflow it and then go through and suck it out, or you can add solder with the soldering iron and do it that way. I have not adjusted the temperature on the desoldering station. I could raise it, I could lower it. This is just the default factory setting at 716 degrees Fahrenheit or 380 degrees Celsius. So they say you should put it on. Let's see, can you know, you're not gonna really be able to see. We'll zoom in perhaps. We zoom in, can we go any more than that? No, we can't. So we're gonna go do this top one right here. Put it on, move it around. Oh yeah, that was spectacular. Let's do it again. Well, I gotta heat it up first. I think I need to heat it up a little bit better. Okay, we'll go around, we'll heat it up, move it around. That one didn't go great. First one was great. Perhaps I need to heat it up a little bit more. That's better. We need to heat it up just a little bit longer. It's been a little while since I've used a desoldering gun. So put it on, heat it up, move it around. There we go. So I've done 3. You guys can not see the holes. Let me see if I can zoom in so you can see the holes here. Or better yet, I'll take the camera off. Give me a second here. There are the 3 holes that we desoldered, just so you can see how quickly that went. Now I'll go ahead and I'll try the soldering iron. So now let's go ahead and try the soldering iron. I would like to comment that now that I actually have it in my hand, I do wish that the point on this was finer. My Weller has a finer point tip on it, but we'll go ahead and try it anyway. Maybe you can get very new tips for this soldering iron, but it does feel a little thinner in my hand than I'm used to. So let's go ahead and we'll heat up the pad and the part. Well, there's a little too much solder there. Definitely need to get used to it. Okay, that's better. Well, I have not adjusted the temperature either. I'm using the factory temperature that comes out of the box. So that can be adjusted. All right, so we've soldered everything back in, and I don't like that one, but it'll do. The first one was garbage. Let me go ahead and show you. So let me put this away. So there are my 3 new solder points there. The pads I soldered. As it does not want to focus. The first one is a little lumpy, a little too much solder, and then the other 2 are a little bit better. You can see they're shiny. They're right there, and it did okay. I need to get used to it, but we're just gonna look at a blurry mess, aren't we? But, you know, it did the job at the factory setting. We can adjust it so that it's either hotter or cooler. I think maybe that's the bottom end. But anyway, so far I'm happy with it. There are a couple things I wish were different. You know, all these extra cords, they tend to get in the way here. And, you know, just the kind of the nature of the beast. You know, you have 3 cords, 2 that are tied together, but you just got to be mindful of that. Also, I wish the tip on the soldering iron was a little bit finer at the end of that soldering iron. But we will have to use it and see how it all goes. That's really what we need to do. That's the next step. We tried it real quick on this Galaxian PCB. But for less than $150, I think this setup will probably do the job nicely. We'll have to just kind of wait and see how it goes. Hopefully you find this useful. I know that other people probably have explored this option. Again, my original desoldering station option was not available, so I said I'd try this one. It's the 2-in-1, and for the same price. I think I just need to get some mileage on it next. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Again, if you have any tips on how to pronounce the brand name or any other information or comments, you can leave them and maybe I'll acknowledge them. Again, thanks for watching and have a good night.